In this video, I'm going to show you how I replaced the igniter for my GE gas oven. As you're watching this video, if you find the information helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. The way that I identified that my igniter was the issue and needed to be replaced is a pretty quick little check that you can do yourself. You're just going to need to turn your oven on. If your oven is working properly, what normally happens is your oven will start to glow and then the gas will be fed into the oven for the igniter to spark and light the flames in your oven. But when you have a faulty igniter, you go and turn the oven on and you'll see that same glow. But instead of the gas kicking on and then the oven igniter sparking the flames, that glow will just simply recede. The gas won't kick on for the igniter to light. Once you've done this quick check, don't forget to turn the oven back off. And then look for the model information for your oven so that you can purchase a replacement part. Here are the specific model and serial numbers for the GE oven that I'm going to be working on. If you need help finding this information, I found mine by pulling out that bottom drawer of the oven, and then the information was located on the stickers to the left or right side of that drawer. All right, now we're ready to start working on this repair. Here is a complete list of the materials and tools that you'll see me using throughout this video. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is unplug the oven and shut off the gas line so that you stay safe while you're making the repair. So pull the oven away from your counters and cabinets in order to expose the electrical outlet and the gas line. Then just unplug your oven from the outlet. And then on your gas line, you should see a shutoff valve that's running parallel with the pipe. To cut off the flow of gas, you're gonna twist that valve until it's perpendicular with the pipe. Parallel means the gas line is open, and perpendicular means it's closed. And then I would take the opportunity to just kind of clean up this area a little bit while it's accessible. And then you're ready for step number 2. We're going to gain access to that oven igniter so that we can replace it. You're going to start by opening the oven door slightly until it comes to its natural resting place. Then grab each side of the door and pull firmly in an upwards direction. And it should just slide right off the hinges. Remove all of your oven racks to give yourself a bit more workspace. Next, we're going to remove the tray at the bottom of the oven. The tray on this particular model is attached with 2 screws towards the back of the oven that you can remove with a flathead screwdriver. This tray is also secured towards the front of the oven by a little lip that the tray sits underneath of. So to remove this tray, you're going to lift up and pull slightly towards the back of the oven so that you can get the tray out from underneath the lip. With the tray removed, you should be able to see the oven igniter. However, you won't be able to remove the igniter without also having access from underneath the oven. To get that access, you're going to first remove the oven drawer. And this is what you should see underneath your oven. Here's a closer image of what's back there. This bundle of wires is actually what powers up your oven igniter. And if you follow those wires, you can see they kind of disappear up into this tray. That's actually where the oven igniter is located, so you probably guessed it already. We're gonna need to remove another tray. This tray is held in place with 4 screws and 2 ledges. 2 of the screws are at the very front of the oven on both the left and the right sides. 2 additional screws are located towards the center, and the 2 ledges that the tray rests on are in the very back. I think it's a little easier to remove the screws towards the center of the oven first. Here is an up-close image of those screws. This shinier looking screw is the one that's connecting the tray to the oven, so it will definitely need to be removed. On my oven, there's also this darker screw right next to it, and while it's not directly attaching the tray to the oven, it is kind of in the way. Like the tray is almost resting on this screw head. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that one as well, and that'll make it easier to remove the tray. And one last thing to mention here is that my oven seems to be missing a screw in this location. So just be on the lookout. If your oven happens to have an additional screw in this space, go ahead and remove that as well. These screws require a 1/4 inch socket. And then get to work removing those screws. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. If you want to loosen up a screw, spin it to the left. And don't forget to remove the screws on the other side of the oven as well. Okay, now that we've got all of those central screws removed, we're gonna move forward toward the front of the oven. Here is an up-close image of those screws at the front. And you need to remove the one that's directly attaching the tray to the oven, so the one at the top. I had to get creative with this one because the handle of my screwdriver was too long for this space and it didn't fit. So I ended up using some vice grips and attached them to the end of that 1/4 inch socket bit and made my own makeshift socket wrench because I didn't have one handy for this job. But that's the beauty of DIY. Do what you gotta do. Get the job done. Okay, so now that you've gotten all of the screws removed from the center and the front, it's time to remove the tray. Just remember when you're removing the tray that there are 2 ledges towards the back of the oven. Here's an up-close image of what those ledges look like. And you'll need to pull the tray forward off of those ledges in order to remove the tray out from underneath the oven. All right, so here's an image of what you'll see once you've removed that tray that's underneath the oven. And if you follow that pipe housing straight up, you should be able to locate the oven igniter. And the next step we're going to work on is removing this igniter from the oven. It's secured in place with 2 screws. So grab your 1/4 inch socket bit and work on removing those screws. Once those screws are removed, you just need to unscrew the electrical caps from the wires that are connected to the igniter. Then just separate those wires from each other so that you can grab the igniter and remove it from your oven. At this point, if you haven't purchased a replacement igniter yet, you might be able to get the model information off the faulty one to help you make your new purchase. Or if you don't get lucky and see that information on the oven igniter, then remember you can always use your model and serial number of the oven itself in order to find a replacement part. And ultimately, that's what I ended up having to do because I was unable to find the exact part number to match the old oven igniter. I just used the model information on my oven to find a comparable part. Because I ended up purchasing a comparable oven igniter instead of an exact replacement part, the new oven igniter was not exactly the same. It came with a female socket connector on one of the wires, which I did not need. So I removed this connector with the help of some electrical wire cutters. The first thing I'm gonna do is use the part of the wire cutters that says cut, and I'm just gonna use that section to cut off the connector. Next, you need to remove a bit of the sheath that's covering the wire without cutting the wire itself. So here you see me trying to determine the hole size on the electrical wire cutters. That's gonna be small enough to cut the sheath, but large enough to not cut the wires. And for me, that ended up being the 16 gauge wire hole. So then you're gonna place the wire into that hole and squeeze. You're gonna pull back on the wire while you tug forward on the wire cutter. Wiggle it around a bit if you need to until that sheath comes off. Okay, so we're on to the next step. We are ready to install the new oven igniter. You want to feed the wires behind that pipe that feeds the gas into your oven, and eventually we will screw the igniter back into place. But for now, just go ahead and rest that igniter on the tray. Next, we're going to reconnect the wires the way that they were originally attached. Remember to wrap the wires around each other the same direction that the electrical cap is going to be screwed on to secure those wires together. That's going to be in a clockwise direction, or to the right. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And then grab your electrical cap and it's going to twist the exact same way, clockwise or to the right. Then grab your second set of wires and repeat this process. And then remember that eventually your oven drawer is going to be scooted back into this space. So take a moment to push those wires towards the back of the oven so they don't get caught on anything. And then we just need to secure the oven igniter in place using the 2 screws that we removed from the original igniter. This is a little easier to do if you use one hand to hold the igniter from above and the other hand to start to thread in the screws from below. And then tighten them up using that 1/4 inch socket bit. Once that's done, we are ready to start reassembling this oven. And we're gonna start by securing this bottom tray in place. I just want to take a quick second to remind you about those 2 ledges towards the back of the oven. The tray is gonna need to rest on those ledges. So you're gonna slide the tray in, finagle it, wiggle it, whatever you have to do to get it in place. And then remember to lift the back of the tray up so that it rests on those ledges. And if the wires in the back of the oven are sticking up, go ahead and push those down before you slide the tray all the way towards the back of the oven. Now we just need to reattach the tray with the 2 screws in the front. And then the same thing for the screws in the center of the oven. Now we're going to move to the inside of the oven and reinstall the top tray, which is going to rest on these 2 ledges. Remember that this tray is secured in place with 2 screws towards the back of the oven, and these 2 holes that I'm pointing at are actually going to be where you screw the screws directly into those 2 brackets or those 2 ledges that it's going to rest on. Remember also when you insert the tray that there's a little lip towards the front of the oven that the tray has to sit underneath of. So you're gonna lift the tray from the back, slide it under the lip, and then drop that tray down until it rests on those ledges. Then grab your flathead screwdriver and secure this tray in place with those 2 screws. Then you need to replace the oven door There are 2 holes towards the bottom of the door, and the hinges should slide right into them. It's easier to do this if the hinges are out away from the oven a little bit, so that when you put the oven door in place, it's already angled to an open position. Okay, now we're on to the last final step. We're gonna test out this oven and make sure that our repair was successful. So you're gonna need to open the valve so that the gas starts flowing and plug in your oven. Remember that the gas line is turned on when the valve is parallel to the pipe. Now we're ready to turn this oven on and see if it's working. Remember that when you turn your oven on, the first thing you should see is that your oven should start to glow. And then the gas should start flowing and the igniter should spark to light the flames of your oven. Almost done. Don't forget to replace your oven drawer and your oven racks, and then this job is done. I wish you luck on all of the projects that you decide to tackle. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks!